One of my greatest inspirations to become a teacher started my junior year here at Elgin High School. My history teacher is a dedicated educator who connects to his students and creates a fun and unique learning environment within the four walls that is his classroom. But he also connects to students throughout the building. He is a proud sponsor of the sports and activities at EHS, buying apparel for almost every sport there is. He also connects much of his life and experiences to teach his students, bringing more than just ideas to our heads, but real-life situations where he has learned himself. By any means, he is the exact definition of a teacher and a key role model to the education of students at a high school level. His story on becoming an educator and what has inspired him to influence his students is just another look at the stories of our educators, the stories that could shape your story.
Well, my name is Jon Miquelon. I teach American Studies. I teach social studies in general. I taught a bunch of different stuff. I coach bowling. I coached cross country for a few years. I do guitar club. That's probably about it.
Alright, so what influenced you to become a teacher?
I was a terrible student. I was a horrible student. I was smart, right? So I always scored like off the charts on all the tests, but I never got to school. I didn't get why. Like the schedule of it and having to turn things in and I just never got it since I was little, right? I used to have teachers who really helped me try to organize and become better at it, but I was just never good at it, never understood why. So I'd sleep in class, but then I'd show up on test day and I'd ace the test and my teacher would always give me a hard time. But then when I got to college, I failed miserably, right? My first 2 years of college, it was bad. And the reason was because I never learned how to be a student. It wasn't my teacher's fault, it was because I just didn't get it, right? But I kind of get why I didn't get it, and I get students like me. So I figured that teaching would be an opportunity for me to go back and help the kids that just don't get it, and try to get them to understand, and be very explicit with them, and come from a perspective that, I've been through that portion of it where a lot of teachers were great students, and they loved school, and they excelled at it all the time, and they can't quite get the kids who goof off and don't get it, right? So that's really why I wanted to become teachers, to help those kids and figure out, and be a positive role model in general, and have fun, because I like having fun teaching as well.
Okay, so what is the biggest impact on your life while teaching?
It's changed the way that I look at the world. Biggest impact for me is watching kids who are suffering and understanding that there's so much stuff going on in their lives that I can't help them with, right? And it's changed how I'm a father, and it's changed how I talk to kids and how I approach them, and it's changed my understanding of growing up, right? Especially in this community where it's changed since I was little here, and there's less money to spread around, and people are struggling more than when I was little. So that's really affected me and changed kind of how I approach the world.
What is your favorite class to teach?
And it's an odd question to me, because I like them all, right? So every time I get a new class, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And then by the time I'm done teaching it for a year, I'm like, this is great. It's not about the classes to me or the content, it's about the teaching, right? It's about the interaction with kids and trying to get kids motivated to do more than what they naturally want to do, right? Like that's my favorite part of teaching, and my favorite class is whatever class you can put me in that I have enough content knowledge to be successful and get kids going,
Right.
You know.
So then why did you want to combine history with English for American Studies?
It makes sense.
Right.
One, right, because you get the literature along with the history, and it makes everything make more sense to kids. But they naturally go together. Reading and writing is a part of history. So why not give me kids for 2 hours instead of 1? Because that can have a bigger effect. Right. So when they approached me about teaching the class, because they had gone away at Elgin High School for a while, they talked to me about it and explained to me. I'm like, absolutely. I get the same kids for 2 hours. I'll take them. Right, and that's really what attracted me about it, was the idea of being able to teach the same kids for 2 hours, because then my effect gets to I get to have an effect for a long period of time.
Right. So what do you think makes you so connected with students here at Elgin High, in the hallways, in the classroom?
I don't know how connected am I. Am I pretty connected?
I mean, the way I look at it, like, no matter where you are, whatever room in the building you're in, you're always connecting to someone, like us here in class when you tell us stories.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know, man. I like teenagers. I like kids. Like I like hanging out with you guys. There's always something new and interesting that you guys bring to the table, and I learn a ton from you. And I'm naturally positive. I'm a happy guy. I like high-fiving and trying to be kind of a positive influence on people's days. And really what it is that, like, I know the effect that one person saying hi and giving me a high five or asking me how I'm doing can have on my day. So I try to be that guy, and I truly, that's what, it's so enjoyable to me to have positive interactions with kids. It's so easy to go negative and start yelling and writing people up and giving referrals and doing all those things. It's so easy to go there. But that doesn't make me feel better. It doesn't make anybody else feel better either. So I just like that positive, let's keep a positive attitude. And I think it's infectious, right? Because I see kids who typically have a hard time with other staff members or other people, and I don't have those same problems with them. We can usually have a pretty joyful conversation, and that means something, right? That's you're going in the right direction at that point.
So is there anything that you really had to sacrifice when you became a teacher?
Not really. It's not really a sacrifice, because I love what I do, right? I mean, a lot of people talk about the money, and the money's not the best, but it's good enough. And my wife's a teacher too, and we have a lot of opportunities that other people don't have. So no, I don't think so. I don't think I've sacrificed anything. I mean, think about how many jobs you can do where once a week you're free to go and play guitar with 15 kids and hang out, right? Like, that's awesome, right? And coaching kids and talking about things that I'm genuinely interested in, and that's I think people who go to the office and make $150,000 a year, they're sacrificing, because they're just basing their day on money, right? Where I get to base my day on positive interactions with people, and that's cool.
What's your favorite aspect of teaching?
Just that. Exactly. I hate grading. Right. It's my least favorite part of teaching. But no, my favorite part of teaching is the interactions with people, right? And watching kids grow, right? Like, take your guys' class. Like, if you think about where you were at the beginning of this year with your abilities in presentation, writing, and all that, and look at where you are now, like, I can look at that and say, that happened because you were in my class, and because me and Mr. Daniel, we had the opportunity to have that effect on you, right? And it shows in your work, and when you leave this class, other people notice as well. So I love that. I love being able to have that effect, and that person is good. That person has changed because I was able to have contact.
Mr. Miquelon?
What?
Mr. Miquelon?
Yeah.
Mr. Miquelon.
Looks like Mr. Miquelon's next. Oh, snap. Who has Mr. Miquelon anywhere?
Yeah!
Make some noise for him, y'all. Come on. Thank you for your excitement. But when we all sit down, we'll all be able to see. Thank you very much. Thank you. Love you, Elgin High.
My cooperating teacher when I was student teaching, his name was Jon Miquelon. Is Jon Miquelon. He's still a teacher, not in U46 anymore. I got to watch how he approached kids and how he talked to kids, and the genuine appreciation they had for him being there for them, right? And I always took that to heart, right? Of again, the importance of the job isn't in the content. It's not. It's and a lot of it is. A lot of it's the getting kids prepared to be in college or career ready or whatever it may be. But the importance is the connections with people and the creating of culture and the creating of community. And I don't know. That's what it means to me. Like that was a big change for watching him and how he did that. And one day it just kind of clicked with me like that's a great way to approach teaching. And it works. I think it works. Anyway. I don't know. Maybe you guys. I think it works.
No, I think definitely.
Right.
So, what would you offer to someone who was looking to be a teacher or an educator of some sort?
The grades will get done when they get done. The faster the better, but the grades will get done. There's always going to be another meeting to go to, right? But kids need you,
Right.
and kids need you to be there and be present for them. You could shirk all of that stuff and still be a good teacher, right? You could be a little bit late on your grades. You could not sign up for a bunch of meetings. You can do all the extra. You can skip all the extracurricular stuff. But if you're not there for the kids, then you're not going to have the effect that you want to have, and you're not going to have the community or the relationships that you want to have.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add?
No, thanks for interviewing me. I'm honored, and I appreciate it, and I'm glad that you thought of me.
American Studies is definitely one of the best classes I've been in, where I've paid attention. I look forward to doing projects and doing my work.
That's great to hear.
So, yeah, I really like American Studies.
Yeah.
And, I've had kids ask me like, "Oh, I hear American Studies is the easier class or this and that." I'm just like, it really depends how you approach it. How you look at it. If you like doing projects, you like working in groups and being able to determine what people are good to work with. You have that kind of skill set. Then it's definitely a fantastic class, and the teachers, you guys really make the class interesting and fun to be a part of. So.
Good. I'm glad to hear you say that. That's the intent. So if it's working on at least one person, that's good.
Right.
Right. All right. Well, thank you again. I appreciate it. I appreciate you asking.